Hi, everyone. My name is David Church, and it is a sincere pleasure to be able to speak with you all today. I'm going to start by asking a rhetorical question. Do you ever feel overwhelmed by having so many projects and ideas that you want to accomplish, but you just don't know where to begin? So rather than do any of them, you end up doing none of them? Whether it be launching a passion project, mastering a new skill, or focusing on a health concern, the path to success can sometimes feel like a maze. What if I told you that the keys to success lie in an unexpected fusion? I'm not talking about the fusion of food genres like a fast food burrito, or a chow mein burrito that is, but rather the fusion of project management, agile, and social science. Today I'm excited to be able to share with you a powerful approach to take our personal aspirations and transition them into achievable outcomes by looking for inspiration not only from the boardroom, but also from the realm of human behavior. So, who am I? My name is David Church. I attended the University of Southern California and the University of California, Los Angeles to get my bachelor's and MBA respectively. I've been in the project management realm for over 20 years, having worked in organizational behavior, Big Five consulting, and the Fortune 100. I've taught at 4 universities, creating a project management course for an executive MBA program at one, a process improvement course for an undergraduate at another. I also achieved my project management professional certification at the age of 24, making me one of the youngest at the time to do so in the state of California. And I'm the chairman of a board for a nonprofit that helps with foster children. But with all that said, did you know that 70% of projects fail due to communication issues and human factors rather than technical challenges? And that statistic is looking at organizational change, where they have dedicated projects and budgets and teams and funds. So why am I bringing this up? For a few reasons. One, I want us to go into this journey with our eyes wide open. Change is hard, change is difficult, even for organizations that have dedicated budgets and departments, and for us as individuals looking to make the change in our lives. But that doesn't mean that we don't try to tackle the change that we want. It just means that we have to understand the role that human behavior has in that change. Also, I want us to forgive ourselves if we don't just make wide sweeping change overnight. Real change can take time and can be iterative and incremental. What is PACE? PACE is a hybrid of project management, agile, and social science. Agile being a newer methodology that focuses on incremental and iterative delivery. PACE stands for prioritize, anticipate, conduct, and evaluate. We're going to look at each component together. Prioritize. Prioritize is the cornerstone of project management and this approach. In project management, we recognize the fact that resources and time is constrained. We can't do all the projects and ideas and goals we want to at the same time. We have to allocate our time to match our personal goals and then align our efforts accordingly. This is where prioritize comes into play. First, we're going to set up our short-term and long-term goals, and then we're going to prioritize which ones we want to focus on in that first iteration. For instance, I might decide to start with a health concern as well as a long-term career transitioning I've been wanting to do. I can do more than one thing at a time. I just have to be careful that I don't take on so much at one time that I risk doing none of them. And this is also where the agile component comes into play. That career transition goal is a great one, but that's a very large one to tackle at one time. So I want to break it down to be incremental. How can I do that? Well, I could start with a career assessment test, find what careers are more suited for me, take the results of that and flow it into a new resume based on my current and past experience with a focus on where I want to go. Roll that over to a new targeted job search and so on and so forth. The point is to keep moving forward in my journey, because this is a journey after all, and we want to keep moving forward to accomplish it. So now that I've prioritized the goals that I have in place and I have a direction, now I can anticipate the steps I need to take to accomplish those goals. This is where one of the most powerful concepts of project management comes into place, which is called the triple constraint, often represented by a triangle. The triple constraint is comprised of scope, or the work that I want to get done, time, how long it takes me to get that work done, and cost, how much it takes to get that work done. And the reason why it's considered constraints is we don't have unlimited ability to do everything we want, unlimited time to do whatever we want, and unlimited money. Now, if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, everybody, if you could please hold your hands up for a moment in the shape of a triangle like you see some of my recent students here doing. And this is to remind us of the triple constraint. This doesn't help force us to make those difficult trade-off decisions between scope, time, and costs. And if nothing else comes from our talk today, we'll have a personal greeting that only we'll understand. Now I want to move to another powerful concept, but this time from the realm of social science, called the self-fulfilling prophecy. What the self-fulfilling prophecy teaches us, if there's a particular outcome that you've already determined to be a reality, you're likely to take the steps necessary to make that outcome happen. As an example, let's say you have a math test next week that you've just decided there's no way you can pass it. So you're not going to study for a math test that you've already determined you're going to fail. You don't study. So next week comes around, you fail that math test, you predicted it. This is a very powerful tool that shows how important our mindset is. Mindset matters. And we can often forget that when we get caught up in our own anxiety and fear. What I want us to do in this PACE approach is I want us to go into this with a positive mindset because we're backing it up with practical science and preparation. So now that we've prioritized the goals that we want to focus on in this first iteration, we've anticipated the steps we want to take, now we're going to conduct those steps and set our pace to go after our goals. So here it's very important to take measurements and notes along the way, figure out how you're progressing. For instance, let's say I want to lose 10 pounds in 3 months. I might weigh in periodically so I can see how I'm doing, check my progress. Or let's say perhaps you have a daughter's birthday party next month that you're trying to plan. Break it down into milestones so you can figure out how you're doing along the way. The key is to take good notes and to keep pushing us forward. Now here, another aspect from social science comes into play, specifically from the realm of change management, and that's called the story of why. Why am I doing this change? Why is this so important to me? Why is the place that I want to go with this change better than where I am now? Or why is where I am now so much more risky and I need to get to that future state? Understanding this story of why helps us push back on that irresistible urge to just not bother and maintain the status quo. Change is hard, so we need to have that story to help propel us forward. We need to be able to tell it to ourselves, accountability partners, and everybody else who's involved in that change. So now that we've prioritized our goals, we've anticipated our steps, we've conducted those steps, now we can evaluate how we've done. Here we can go back, reflect, what worked well, what could have gone better. The 10 pounds I wanted to lose, did I lose all of it? Great, on to the next goal. If I only lost 6 of the 10 pounds, I don't give up. Roll the remaining 4 into a new iteration, right? Keep moving forward. We have to remember that change is oftentimes not a straight line, but a curvy one. Sometimes change we've already done is going to regress and we're going to have to reinforce that change. Sometimes we're going to learn from our mistakes. That's totally fine as long as we just keep moving forward. So here in the evaluate stage, we want to reflect back, celebrate our successes, learn from our mistakes, plan the next iteration. So let me show you, before I get to that, let me recap PACE again. PACE is a hybrid of project management, agile, and social science. It stands for prioritize, anticipate, conduct, and evaluate. Let me show you now my top 3 goals with some evaluation notes, just so you get an example. As you can see, my top 2 are health related. I want to eat better, work out more. My third one's about today. Oh, I forgot to update that last row. Thank you for being a part of that. So now that we've gone through my goals, I want to finish with a quote from Theodore Roosevelt that said, if you believe you can, you're halfway there. I want to add to that, if you believe you can and you back it up with preparation and practical science, you can get all of the way there. I believe in you. I hope you believe in yourselves also. If you wouldn't mind putting your hands up one more time in the shape of a triangle, thank you so much for your time. Good luck with setting your pace for your success. Thank you very much.